Good morning, East Alabama and West Georgia. Dr. Don with you in the Southern Union Severe Weather Center this morning. It is Saturday, December 11, 2021. We are at about 8 a.m. Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern, as we are watching a line of showers and thunderstorms move into the state of Alabama. This line of storms causing catastrophic damage across Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, Illinois, Missouri last evening. Just a horrific situation up there with multiple fatalities, multiple building collapses. We had an Amazon facility that collapsed in Edwardsville, Illinois, just north of St. Louis, with around 100 people trapped inside the building. We had a candle factory in Mayfield, Kentucky that also collapsed. Confirmed over 50 fatalities there. That death toll is expected to go much higher. We had some fatalities at a nursing home, a Dollar General store, massive destruction, vehicles blown off of the interstate. It's just an absolute mess. Most of that destruction came from one tornado or one thunderstorm supercell that tracked for over 200 miles. From near Jonesboro, Arkansas, all the way up past Mayfield, Kentucky. And it was the tornado that it was producing was on the ground most of the time. Very large wedge tornado, probably going to be F4, F5 once the rating comes in. Just a catastrophic situation. A total of over 24 tornadoes reported so far since about 9 p.m. last night through early this morning across those areas. So what does all of this mean for East Alabama and West Georgia? Well, you're looking at the picture this morning. This is a live radar shot from Birmingham's National Weather Service office at the Shelby County Airport. And the line of storms has weakened a little bit since about 3 a.m. this morning. But as we get the heating of the day going, there is the chance that this line of showers and thunderstorms will re-intensify. I don't anticipate this line being as strong in Alabama or Georgia as it was last night across Arkansas, Tennessee, and Kentucky. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm trying to minimize this situation today, because I'm certainly not. We could have a spin-up tornado or two anywhere along this line as it moves through our area this afternoon. I just don't think it's going to produce the number of tornadoes that we saw last night, and I would not expect to see the long-lived, long-track, violent tornadoes that we saw last night. The weather setup is a little bit different here in Alabama and Georgia than it was last night across Arkansas and Tennessee. We had a low-level jet up there in the upper levels of the atmosphere running at about 145 miles per hour. That's wind speed in different levels of the atmosphere. We don't have that type of setup across Alabama and Georgia this morning, so I wouldn't anticipate a violent number of tornadoes to outbreak across our area. So I don't think this is going to be a red letter weather day for East Alabama and West Georgia. That is not to say that we can't have a few tornadoes and certainly damaging straight line winds and some damage from hail. And we're almost positive that after this line moves through, the wind is going to pick up from the northwest, gusting at 15 to 20 miles per hour, and maybe even as high as 30 to 35 miles per hour in some locations, especially in higher altitudes. So it's going to be a windy day after this line comes through, and that wind's not going to have anything to do with the thunderstorms. So we got a kind of a 1-2 punch that's going to take place here. So the weather is going to be deteriorating throughout the day. And the temperature is going to be just crashing this afternoon. We're going to get down into the upper 50s, maybe the mid 50s before the sun goes down. And we're headed for the upper 30s to mid 30s for overnight lows across East Alabama and West Georgia. So a lot going on here. And so we are are going to be watching this as we go throughout the day. We have a couple of things I want to talk to you about right now. A tornado watch that's in effect for North Alabama. You see those areas there that are outlined in pink or purple. That's the current tornado watch that's in effect for North Alabama, Northwest Alabama, and Northeast Alabama. And as I zoom out, you can get a better picture of just how far to the north this tornado watch expands. It goes all the way up into Kentucky, up into northeast Kentucky, stretching all the way back down to the Alabama-Mississippi state line. We have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings that are in effect currently. And let me take the radar shot. We had a tornado warning up here in Tennessee, but that would be southwest of Knoxville, but that has just expired, and now we have just severe thunderstorm warnings in extreme southeastern Tennessee and also up here in extreme southeastern Kentucky. We have some severe thunderstorm warnings. And in this area that you see that's outlined by the dotted blue, those are special weather statements that the National Weather Service office up in Huntsville is issuing for this entire line of storms from just north of Birmingham all the way up to Chattanooga, Tennessee, as it moves off to the north. So the better energy, and what's happening here, this line of storms, as it moves to the east, the best energy is moving to the northeast. So the best energy for this storm system is moving away from this line. So it stands to reason that the north end of this line is stronger than the south end of the line. But as the day progresses and we start to get heating of the day taking place, the southern end of this line could intensify as well. And then as we take you back in closer to East Alabama and West Georgia, we see some showers and thunderstorms there in Clay County back over into Randolph, basically from Lineville back over to Wedowee, and then up here in Cleburne County from about Mount Cheahaw all the way back over to Ranburne and into western sections of Carroll County. And then up here in Haralson County, we've got some showers and thunderstorms, northern Cleburne County up around the Cherokee County line, basically from Tallapoosa back to the north. We have a few showers and thunderstorms up there as well. But this area in East Alabama where we're seeing the rain right now is not the area we would expect to see severe weather form. That would be back up there to the northwest. One reminder, the Rock Mills Christmas Parade was set to happen this morning at 11 a.m., and that has been postponed until next Saturday, until December the 18th. So we've been talking back and forth with the organizers of that event for the last several days. They made a decision on, I believe it was Thursday, to go ahead and pull the trigger and postpone. I think that was a good call. Even though it's not raining in Rock Mills right this minute, it probably will be within the hour. And then we have this line of showers and thunderstorms coming at us later on this afternoon, probably sometime after 12 noon. Between 12 and 1 o'clock Central is when I anticipate this line of showers and thunderstorms to move into East Alabama and West Georgia. We welcome those of you who are listening to us via radio this morning over on God's Country and East Alabama's classic rock giant, the Classics. We will be doing these updates periodically throughout the day. And of course, our threshold to go live during severe weather would be any type of warning, either in our coverage area or approaching our coverage area. So we'll be paying attention to that throughout the day. We'll be coming back from time to time to do severe weather updates. And of course, if we get a warning for any of our counties in the coverage area, then we will stay with wall-to-wall coverage until that threat has ended. This is a day that you want to make sure you are weather aware. And there are several different ways that you can go about doing that. And one of them is to go over to Dr. Don's weather site, and you want to download, and I just posted the website there, drdonwx.com. Upper right-hand corner, you're going to see a couple of buttons there. One of them is the donate button if you'd like to support us. The other buttons will allow you to download the Dr. Don weather app. And of course, you can go to your phone's store and search Dr. Don weather, and you can download it that way as well. Get that downloaded on your phone today, because here's why, folks. You get notified on Facebook, you get notified on YouTube, you get notified on Twitter, but those are not guaranteed ways of receiving weather information, because there are so many things can go wrong to keep you from getting that notification. If you go and download the Dr. Don weather app, then you're getting those notifications directly to your phone from our servers. It's not going through social media anywhere. So that's the best thing to do, is to download the Dr. Don weather app on your phone. Now, understand the Dr. Don weather app is specifically for East Alabama and West Georgia. So you're only going to get weather alerts for our home counties that we cover in East Alabama and West Georgia. So if you're in Birmingham, if you're in Tuscaloosa, if you're in Atlanta, if you're in south of Columbus, you certainly can download the weather app, and you'll get notified when we go live to do severe weather coverage. And there's all kind of weather information on there for you, but you're not going to get weather alerts. There are a couple of different ways that can be accomplished. We chose to go a particular way because we are focused on East Alabama and West Georgia. That's the only area that we consistently provide severe weather coverage for. So we wanted those push notifications to go out just for our home counties. Be sure you download the Dr. Don weather app. Again, all you got to do is go to drdonwx.com, and you'll see the button there on the upper right-hand corner. I'll share that with you again here on the stream. All you got to do is click on that, and you can go over there and get that done. Also, I'll give you the donate button as well. So all you have to do is click on the donate there, and you can support us, and we need your support. It's very important that you guys support us. No amount is too small or too large, and that helps us continue to bring you the severe weather coverage on East Alabama, for East Alabama and West Georgia. So that's in a nutshell what we're looking at this morning. We're just kind of watching to see what is going to happen as we move forward this morning. Currently, we have no severe weather watches or warnings for East Alabama or West Georgia. We do have a tornado watch. You see it flashing in purple there on your screen. That is for North Alabama, Northeast Alabama down to West Central Alabama. They have recently removed some of the Northwest Alabama counties from the watch. And we're waiting to see what they're going to do, whether or not they're going to extend this watch a little further to the east and maybe to the south as we go throughout the morning. Again, if you're just joining us, we're talking a catastrophic situation across Arkansas, back into Tennessee, Kentucky, multiple fatalities from over 24 reported tornadoes that marched through the area today or last night. And just a catastrophic situation up there. The mayor of Mayfield, Kentucky, said this morning that this is the worst disaster in the history of the state of Kentucky. And that's saying a lot. If you've been watching some of the video this morning, you can see for yourself it is just horrible up there. And we don't anticipate something like that here in East Alabama or West Georgia, or even anywhere across Alabama or Georgia. You folks watching us up there in North Georgia, Northeast Georgia, we are going to have a line of showers and thunderstorms move through this afternoon, and certainly we could see a few spin-up tornadoes. We certainly could see some damaging straight-line winds. We could have some brief heavy rainfall and some hail, but I don't anticipate the outbreak of tornadoes like we saw last night in Arkansas, Tennessee, and Kentucky. I don't anticipate the long-track violent tornadoes that we saw last night to our northwest. But nonetheless, you know, if a tornado touches down in your neighborhood, then that's a bad day. So that's why we're here providing you with weather coverage this morning. So I'm going to pause just for a second to allow our radio stations to break away and go back to regular programming, and then we'll go up and take a look in the chat room and answer any questions that you may have. If you are watching us this morning on social media, please let me know where you're watching from. And any questions that you may have, now's a good time to post them because we'll spend about 5 minutes or so answering your questions in the chat room. So we'll stand by and let our radio stations go back to regular programming. For those of you listening on radio, stay tuned to these radio stations for live continuing coverage throughout the day from Dr. Don's weather. And we'll be back with more of our coverage on social media after this. All right, folks, we've allowed our radio stations to go back to regular programming, and here comes my most favorite part of giving you severe coverage across East Alabama and West Georgia. It's answering your questions and reading the comments in the chat. Appreciate you guys joining us this morning. I'll go back to the top. Good morning from Christy. Also, Ben is in here this morning. Ben Blackstone, Jennifer George is in here. Good morning. Leanne Williams, good morning. Shannon Lippum, good morning to you. Denise Willis, good morning, Denise. Nice to have you with us. Nancy Wilson, good morning, Nancy, and Merry Christmas to you. Yes, absolutely. Prayers for all of those folks who lost their lives and all the damage up there. It's just horrendous. And you know, y'all know how I am. I got to get on my soapbox just for a minute. Listen to me, folks, especially those of you who are in supervisory positions. And I know that we have several factories and plants across East Alabama and West Georgia where large numbers of people work. Make sure you know exactly where to put your folks in the event that there is a severe weather situation. You know, I think once all is said and done, the majority of the fatalities that we're going to see out of Kentucky and Arkansas and Tennessee are going to come from two facilities. One of them being a huge Amazon warehouse. That was actually in Illinois, just north of St. Louis. And then the candle factory, which was in Mayfield, Kentucky. We've been saying for days that this weather was coming. I mean, at least for 2 days, and I've been talking about it all week. And I know the folks who are in control of those facilities knew that there was a chance of severe weather, and I'm sure they did everything that they possibly could to get those workers in safe places. But I don't know about the candle factory because I haven't seen any video, but I do know about the Amazon warehouse. That whole facility collapsed. So there really wasn't a safe place inside that facility. Here's the point I'm trying to make, folks. We have just, in the last 2 years, basically shut this country down because of a virus and fear-mongering from our government. You know from you're being warned 3-4 days in advance that we have a huge severe weather outbreak on the way. Let's don't put hundreds of people under the same roof in a building that is a huge open span building such as an Amazon warehouse or a candle factory. We can shut those factories down for a pandemic for months. Can we shut it down for several hours to let severe weather move through and save hundreds of lives? Yeah, I think we can. It's just, this is what I do for a living. So I get very frustrated when we see large numbers of fatalities because it doesn't have to happen. The technology is there. There's always a chance you could be warned and you could go through all of that and shut your plant down for hours and lose money for nothing. There is that chance. Absolutely there is. But the opportunity to take those people out of that environment and save their life far outweighs any money that you may lose by shutting down for several hours while severe weather moves through. People are much safer in individual homes than they are grouped up under a huge open span roof at a factory. That's a proven fact. So, yeah, let's kind of change the way we think about this moving forward. If we've got a high likelihood of a significant severe weather outbreak, and it 2-3 days in advance, let's come up with some plans here on how to keep our people a little bit safer. I had to get that off my chest. Good morning, Deborah Gilmore. Nice to have you with us. Frog Eyes in the house. Numerous damage reports coming from National Weather Service office up in Huntsville. And that's going to be for that line of storms stretching from Coleman all the way back up to Chattanooga. And most of that's going to be straight line wind damage. We're not seeing any tornado indications along that line, but certainly we could be looking at some straight line winds, 50, 60, 70 mile per hour as that line moves through North Alabama. Matt Brewer's in the house. Good morning to you, Matt. Sandy Lee, thank you for those prayers. Thank you, Brandy. I appreciate those kind words. Regina Nichols is in the house this morning. Renee Johnson. Cecilia Newman, down there at Newman Farms, down in Chambers County. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. And Miss Cecilia, thank you for your support. We appreciate what you do to support Dr. Don's weather. Sharon Yarborough's watching us down in Lynette. Brenda Williams is here with us this morning. Renee Johnson says she's getting strong winds and heavy rain close to Lonnie White Bridge. I'm not really sure exactly where the Lonnie White Bridge is. So when you guys post weather information, be sure and give me a specific location. If it's out in rural sections, then give me the closest town so we'll know exactly where you're talking about. Michael Mazzarchi, there's me a Northeast Georgia viewer this morning up in Rabun County. Or I don't know, he may be in Panama City. You never can tell about. Or Auburn. He loves to go to Auburn. He hangs out. He's a Georgia person. And he is just infatuated with Auburn. Every time he goes to Panama City, he gets off and goes downtown Auburn, hangs out at Toomer's Corner. A smart guy. I have trained him well. Deborah Brown's in here this morning. Good morning, Woodland, Wanda. All right, so Santa Claus is going to be in Rock Mills today from 11 until 3. Okay, y'all be careful with that and pay very, very close attention to the weather. And if we start to have severe weather, getting relatively close to the Rock Mills area, then you guys need to have a plan to get everybody out and get them home in plenty of time before the storm hits. Right now, you're good. The rain that's taking place right now in Clay, Randolph, Cleburne, over into Heard and Troup County, up into Carroll, that's just, there's nothing severe to that. So you're good for now. Question about Gadsden, Alabama. The whatabouts are coming out of the woodworks this morning. Gadsden, you're in East Alabama. So you've got that line of storms off to your west. Probably will be into the Gadsden area sometime after 11 a.m. this morning. And that's a pretty significant line of storms. So if you're in the Gadsden area, pay attention to what's happening off to your west. Right now, though, you're fine. You're not even covered by the tornado watch. We'll watch together and see if they extend that tornado watch a little further off to the east, which if they do, that would include the Gadsden area. Morrison Crossroads is in the house this morning. Charlotte Bishop's watching us from Daviston, Alabama. Thank you, Kevin Adair. Appreciate you. Auburn, Alabama in the house. Merry Christmas to you guys. Roy Ann Hodges is watching us this morning. Alexandria, Alabama. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you tuning in. Cindy is in Potash Ridge, up on the ridge. I was on the ridge end of last week. No, week before last. I don't know. Sometime recently I was there. Wedowee, Alabama, Central Hatchie, Roopville, home of Mr. Keith. There's Lisa Jackson. Thank you, Lisa. Lisa, appreciate you joining us this morning. Keith Jackson, born in Roopville, Georgia. Judy Bennett, thank you. Question about, do I think the tornado watch will get extended over into South Carolina? Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know. So far, it has not been extended further east in Alabama. And then you got the entire state of Georgia to go. And then South Carolina probably will not make it into South Carolina until after midnight tonight, which means it would be coming into South Carolina during the pre-dawn hours, which is the coolest part of the day. I don't know. I can't answer that question. If it continues to weaken, which is what the forecast is calling for, then odds are it would not be extended that far east into South Carolina. But we're just going to have to kind of watch and see as we move along. Indications are it probably will not make it that far to South Carolina. Tyler Murphy's in Roanoke. Well, Ruth Earl, I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you for those kind words. Josh is in Wedowee. Rebecca's watching us this morning. Y'all don't encourage me to preach, because now I'm just going to tell you like it is. I probably missed my calling, if you want to know the truth, because I can do some preaching. Just ask producer Tracy. I get off on one of my soapboxes, and y'all gonna have to reel me back in, because I can go for days. Ree Baker's watching us from Barfield. Barbara's in Wadley. Kathy Ann Smith, good morning. Thank you, Alan. I appreciate those kind words. Watching from Valley, Alabama. There's my IT director, Jonathan Jones. Been having some trouble with our website at drdonwx.com. Over the last week or so, continued to get notification that the site was down, then it was back up, and it was down, it was back up. Well, last night it crapped out. I mean, it went away. And we couldn't get on. I couldn't even get on through the admin side. Well, Mr. Jones was the original developer of drdonwx.com, and we worked together, our real paying job during the day. And so I sent him a text message last night and said, something's wrong. Within about 15 minutes, he had it back up, and I appreciate that. Y'all don't tell him I said that, though, because his old head will swell up. Mark is watching us this morning in Lineville. Thank you. Rock Mills is in the house. Rock Mills reporting no rain or winds just yet. Yeah, all that's staying just a little bit to the north of you for now. Donna Young is watching us this morning from Woodland. Melissa and Jim Kirby's watching us this morning. Emergency Medical Transport, good morning to you. Nice to have you guys in the house with us. Kathy's watching us in Wadley, Wedowee, Holly Scott's in Woodland. Michelle's watching us from Warner Robins, Georgia. Nice to have you with us. I kind of keep an eye on that area. I got interest down in Albany, or Albany, however y'all want to say it down that way. So keep an eye on Warner Robins. What can we expect in Roanoke? Well, later on a few scattered showers this morning, no big deal. And then after 12 noon today, and this line of thunderstorms will move through. We're just kind of watching this thing together to see if it's going to intensify. If the line were to move through Roanoke, Alabama right this moment, you would be looking at gusty winds, probably 35 to 45 miles per hour, brief heavy rain, some thunder and lightning, and then it would be gone. But if this line intensifies much more than what it is now, then we could be looking at a much different situation. So we're just kind of watching it to see how this thing evolves over the next couple of hours before it moves into East Alabama and West Georgia. Turn the lightning tracker on so we can kind of get a idea of what kind of lightning we're looking at out there. And not a tremendous amount of lightning right at the moment. We're looking at the entire northern half of the state of Alabama and only 4 strikes in the last 2 minutes. And most of that's up there around Chattanooga. 1 lightning strike there just north of Coleman. So that's one way of kind of identifying the severity of a line of thunderstorms, is looking at the lightning output. And at the moment, we're not seeing much in the way of lightning with this line of storms, and that's good. Tin Shop, Alabama. Peggy Story is watching us this morning in Davidson. Philip McDonald is watching us in the Tin Shop area, Rock Mills, Potash Ridge, Rideway Estates in Wedowee. Good morning, Stephanie. Good morning, Graham, Alabama. Came through there a couple of days ago as well. Merry Christmas to you guys up there on the hill. Smith Station watching us. Good morning, Brooke Royston Jackson. Hey, I need to talk to you guys. We need some Randolph County Mobile Homes sponsoring Dr. Don's weather. I think as a matter of fact, Shepherd's Jewelers have been with us. They've been with us from the very beginning. And Shepherd's Fine Jewelry in downtown Roanoke, been in business for 83 years. And sadly, Miss Judy and Mr. Mark has decided they're going to have to close at the end of this year. So the Dr. Don Weather Center, the Shepherd's Weather Center sponsorship is available. Brooke, talk to your daddy. It's great coverage, and we would love to have you guys. It's open, so if you own a business and would like to become a partner with Dr. Don's Weather and have your business exposed to thousands of people a day, and then when we go into live severe weather coverage like we are today, we're talking tens of thousands. Join us. And so that spot is available. Send me a message on Messenger, and I'll tell you how you can go about getting signed up. So January 1, you can take over the Shepherd's Weather Center sponsorship on Dr. Don's Weather. Marlene's watching us this morning in Roanoke. Buxton, Alabama. Mary Keel. Omaha. Crystal Adamson watching this morning. Denise Ledford says that they're in Calhoun, Georgia. They always watch Dr. Don's Weather so they can see what's coming their way. Thank you for all that you do and keep us updated. Well, thank you, Denise. I appreciate that. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm actually located in Georgia. I'm in Northeast Georgia. I am an East Alabama transplant. Spent 22 years in East Alabama on broadcast radio. That's why I have such a large following down there. And with modern technology the way it is, it really doesn't matter where you are. You can provide weather coverage for those particular areas. So that's why I do what I do. So, Denise, we watch this area very closely, and that's a good thing to watch us because we're going to pay attention to what's coming out of Alabama into Georgia. I work in emergency management in the state of Georgia, so when bad things happen in the state, I get deployed. So I got to tell you, we watch all of Georgia, so we'll keep that going for you. Trudy Green is in Springfield. Lisa Sheldnut watching us. Thank you for your kind words. County Road 33, Wadley, Alabama. Susan McGill, thank you and Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, Lisa. Nothing's going on in Rock Mills right now. It's all quiet down there. But later on today, we're going to have a line of showers and thunderstorms move through. And while they're not severe at the moment, the potential is there for them to go severe later this morning and early this afternoon as they move into Rock Mills and all of East Alabama and West Georgia. Patricia's watching us up in Newell. Good morning, Mike Smith, the dynamic duo. You got it. Shonda's watching us in Wadley. Ranburn's online with us this morning. Daryl Tucker. Dr. Don for President. Smith Station, Alabama in the house. You couldn't pay me. There is no way. You think Trump turned this country upside down? You haven't seen anything yet. East Alabama and West Georgia would be in good shape, though, I can assure you. First thing I would do is fix the television issue across the area so you guys could get Birmingham television for your severe weather coverage. James Spann be all over you. Merry Christmas to all of you guys as well. Appreciate those Christmas wishes coming in this morning. Millerville over in Clay County. Thank you, Sonia. Terry says she just downloaded the Dr. Don weather app. Thank you, Terry. We appreciate your support. And that's a good thing for everybody to do this morning. You know, so you make sure that you are aware when we go live to cover severe weather and when those alerts are issued for East Alabama and West Georgia. Misty is watching us from Bowden. Kevin Johnson. Good morning, Kevin. Nice to have you with us this morning. Deborah Rutledge, Valley, Alabama. Merry Christmas to you and a Happy New Year. Anita is in Delta. Lisa is in Roanoke. Ranburn, Alabama in the house. Good morning, Beth. Sandra Walker says the bottom's falling out with rain at the state lakes in Delta. Yeah, that's a very small area. And let me just kind of take you down there to street level on that. So up here in Cleburne County, all the way back down to extreme northwest Randolph, and then over into northeast Clay, we have a couple of, they're heavy, they're producing a lot of rain, but they're not severe, and they are relatively small. And we'll show you kind of what the direction is on these, if we can get the loop to run for us this morning. And there we go. And you see they're moving off to the northeast and just kind of pulsating as they move along to the northeast. So not a whole lot there except for some rain, and that's really not a bad thing with this particular weather setup that we have this morning. The more rain you can get out ahead of this line of storms that'll be in here this afternoon, the more stable your atmosphere will be when that line of storms move in. So the best case scenario would be for these showers to continue across East Alabama and West Georgia well in advance of this line that's coming in from the northwest. That'll help kind of keep the atmosphere cool, and it will drain some of the energy out of the atmosphere so that when this line comes through, maybe it won't be as significant as it could be. So these showers this morning over here in East Alabama and up into northwest Georgia, not severe. Don't anticipate them going severe, and we really kind of need to keep those going. Rome, Georgia, case in point, good morning. You got a shower just off to your southeast there, just to the west of 75. And let's see here. Broughton Ridge is watching us this morning. Ashland, Alabama, Harkins Crossroads. Good morning, Kimberly. Alan Davis is watching us from Decatur, Georgia. Nice to have you with us, Decatur. I'm not too terribly far from you. I'm up on the north end of 985, up in White County, Georgia. Thank you for joining us. There's Donna Wood watching us this morning from Dothan, Alabama, checking in on her Randolph County Chambers, Clay, and Troop folks. And yeah, we're all good up here for the time being. I spent a little time in Dothan, worked for WTVY for several years, lived in Enterprise, Daleville, Webb, Alabama. If you know where Webb, Alabama's at, you have spent some time in Southeast Alabama. Molly McCrae's in here this morning watching us from Pensacola, Florida. Good morning. Nice to have you with us down there on the beach. There's Patricia Brown watching us this morning in Roanoke. Good morning, Beth. Cornelia, Georgia in the house. Yeah, no, there's another neighbor. I'm just over in between Dahlonega and Cleveland, right along the Lumpkin County, Hall County, White County line. Jill is telling us she just downloaded the weather app for the from Carrollton. Good deal. Regina Smith says she's headed to Helen, Georgia this morning, about 20 minutes north of where I live. And we got weather up here this morning is okay. It's a little foggy, a little drizzly kind of weather, but we're not having any storms or anything like that up here for now. So drive with care and come on up and get settled in before this line of storms moves through. Opelika, Alabama. Good morning, Christy. Dana's watching us over there in Standing Rock, out there at Robertsonville. Omaha, Alabama. Thank you, Pamela. Brenda Knowles is in the house, watching us from Rocket City. Roxanne is listening to us this morning. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate those kind words. Yeah, hey, great idea here. Buckle down your Christmas decorations outside before it gets bad. We don't need Santa flying before his day. Absolute great advice, because here's the deal. Whether you get strong straight line winds or not from the line of thunderstorms, the wind's going to turn out of the northwest after this line moves through. We're talking wind gusts of up to 30, 35 miles per hour. So trampolines, patio furniture, trash cans, Christmas decorations. That's the one thing I hadn't thought about this morning. Make sure they're secure. If you've got some of those blow-up figurines outside, or you have a nativity scene, or if you have an outdoor Christmas tree, or any outside stuff, make sure it is secure. You know, and if you can't make sure it's secure, then at least let the air out of it, or maybe even just go and pack them up and bring them back inside, because I'm telling you, this wind, after the storms move through, it's going to be rough this afternoon into tonight, very windy. And I got to tell you, 25, 30 mile per hour wind gust will take those Christmas decorations out of your front yard and put them about 4 houses down. It will happen. So you got time this morning. You got another couple of 2 or 3 hours before the weather starts to turn bad across East Alabama and West Georgia. So you got time to at least go outside and make sure everything is secure. And again, if you can't secure it, at least let the air out of them. If you have the blow-up Christmas decorations, or just take them down and bring them inside until this weather passes. Not only is it dangerous, but your Christmas decorations are going to get destroyed if you don't. I've been mistaken for James Spann before. It's happened, so that's okay. I mean, after all, I taught him everything he knows. Deborah Martin's watching us from LaGrange this morning. Kelsey is in Sylacauga, Alabama. Knoxville, Georgia. Good morning, Tina. All right, so get a report that the sun's trying to peek through between Rock Mills and Roanoke at 71 degrees. That's not good. We don't want sunshine this morning. And I know it's in the low 70s, and after this front moves through, the temperature's going to start to crash, and you're going to be down into the upper 50s, maybe even the mid 50s before the sun goes down this afternoon with that howling northwest wind. So we're in for a temperature departure of about 20 degrees in a matter of 4 to 5 hours this afternoon. So big changes on the way for East Alabama and West Georgia. Sycamore, Alabama's watching us this morning. Donna Wood says, hey, Dana in Robertsonville. I may have started something here. Dalton, Georgia's in good shape this morning. Maybe a few scattered showers around, but nothing severe over there just yet. Trudy says, good morning and Merry Christmas to you and yours. Sun's peeking out here some in the Springfield community. That's in Randolph County with light wind. So there's our second report of sun trying to peek through. If you followed me for any length of time, you've heard me say this time and time again. In these type setups, sun is not a good thing. We at least want cloudy skies. We prefer to have light rain this morning, which would help settle down the atmosphere. If we lose the cloud coverage, we start to get sunlight and we warm much warmer than where we are right now. That is only going to add fuel to the fire, so to speak. So that's not a good trend. And that's why we're here watching all of this, just in case things get sideways this afternoon. Dickard, Alabama's in the house. Good morning, Richie. Rock Mills, Wedowee. Kathy Wortham's got us going in Wedowee this morning. Alexander City, good morning to you. New Hope, good morning, Peggy. Ranburn, Alabama. We watch you folks up there in southern Cleveland, so hang in here with us and share us with all your friends. And I encourage everybody to do that this morning. Share today's weather broadcast with your friends. If you have folks, across East Alabama and West Georgia that don't typically watch our coverage, send them a message and tell them to be sure and like Dr. Don's weather page on Facebook. Go over to YouTube and search Dr. Don's Weather and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And, of course, if you have a Twitter account, you can follow us on Twitter. It's at DSTREN1040. We'll get that up on the chat for you in just a few moments. And, of course, the best idea is to download the Dr. Don Weather app. And that way you get a push notification directly from our servers whenever we go live for severe weather. And you get those weather alerts for East Alabama and West Georgia. And the best way to download that app is to go right there to drdonwx.com. That's our website. Upper right-hand corner, you'll see a couple of buttons depending on what type of smartphone you have. And you can download our weather app so you'll be prepared for those weather warnings and those push notifications when we go live for severe weather. There is also a button there that will allow you to support Dr. Don's Weather, and there's the link for the support as well. All you have to do is click on that. It is quick, it's fast, it's secure. We appreciate anything you can do to help us out. We depend on your support and our partners to be able to continue providing weather information for East Alabama and West Georgia. We are coming up on our 2-year anniversary of live continuing coverage, and we hope that we can continue for another 10 or 15 years, good Lord willing. So the sun's beginning to peek out in Hughley. That's not a good trend. So, all right, so somebody's watching us from their tree stand this morning. That's pretty cool. Mobile, Alabama. Corey Nord, good morning to you, Mobile. Or as the national broadcasters would say, Mobile, Alabama. Springfield's in the house. Thank you, Nicole. Nicole says that she just downloaded the app. Super warm outside reminds me of storms when I was a kid. Would play outside all day, and always at nighttime a storm would hit. Says Mama would always say, "That's just heat lightning. Go to bed." I remember those days. But see, my grandmother, if it was lightning outside, you had to be quiet. Till this day, I don't understand the reason behind that. And I guess I should have asked her. I never did ask her why. But the big thing I can remember as a kid, if I was at my grandmother's house and it was storming outside or lightning, we had to be quiet. We couldn't talk. I don't get it. I never have understood that. And then, of course, we couldn't go anywhere near the bathroom. Couldn't even think about taking a bath if it was thundering and lightning outside. I understand the significance behind that. But you had to be quiet, and you had to get down. Most of the time, she made us sit on the floor. We couldn't even sit up on the couch. We had to get down as low as we could, and we had to be quiet. Maybe it was just because we were yapping kids. Maybe she just wanted some peace and quiet. 71 in Roanoke with a lot of humidity. I understand. That's just a bad setup. William Martin watching us this morning from Dadeville. Yeah, Angela. Yeah, now, as I talk it through, then being a grandparent myself, now, of course, I love my grandkids. They can talk all they want to. I get a kick out of it. But looking back on it, that's probably what it was. She was just trying to get some peace and quiet. 70 degrees in Dadeville as well this morning. All right, so folks, we're coming up on 9 a.m. Central, and we're going to wrap this up at 9 a.m., and then the plans moving forward, we're just going to kind of watch what's taking place, and as conditions warrant, we will come back with severe weather coverage. And, we primarily cover East Alabama and West Georgia. We're talking about Cleburne, Calhoun, Talladega, Clay, Randolph, Coosa, Tallapoosa, Chambers, Lee, Elmore, and then in Georgia, Carroll, Hurd, Troup, Harris, and Coweta. Those are our primary coverage counties. But that's not to say we don't pay attention to Central Alabama, because we do. We have family over there, and I'm originally from Prattville, Alabama, so I'm going to keep an eye on Autauga County. We also watch Chilton County up into Shelby, and then down into Dallas County, Lowndes, Montgomery. We pay attention to those areas. I currently live up in northeast Georgia, so I pay attention to all of North Georgia. So we will kind of see how the day progresses, and we'll be back and provide more coverage for you as the day goes along. Right now, we have a tornado watch that is in effect until 11 a.m. Central this morning. So we got about 2 more hours for this tornado watch. But I expect a decision to be made soon on what they're going to do with this tornado watch, because you see the leading edge of this line of thunderstorms has actually already moved out of the tornado watch area. So I would expect this tornado watch to either be replaced with a new tornado watch or canceled before 11 a.m., maybe replaced with a severe thunderstorm watch, or maybe not replaced with anything, because at the moment, we don't have any severe weather taking place in Alabama. All is quiet. Now, I mean, we've got, a line of thunderstorms. The wind's going to be gusty. There could be a bolt of lightning or two. There could also be a little hail involved in this. But for the moment, all of these storms up and down this line are below severe limits. So they may not reissue this tornado watch at all. Now that I look at it a little bit closer, but we'll see. And so for now, everybody just remain weather aware. Make sure you download the Dr. Don weather app and remain weather aware. And we'll be back to bring more coverage to you as conditions warrant across East Alabama and West Georgia. With that, we will bid you farewell for now. And we'll be back to give you more coverage as we see necessary from Dr. Don's weather. Y'all have a fantastic Saturday if I don't talk to you anymore today, which, though, I think I probably will. So we'll see you then. Bye now.